Hello, everyone. Welcome to Royal Black and Elite. I'm Lady TrenettWilson, your lecturer and social historian. Today's lecture is going to be very interesting as we look at the emergence of AI coming into the forefront. When you think of technology, you think like Steve Jobs, who's the founder of Apple. I mean, many people hold his inventions in our hands, or Microsoft founder Bill Gates. You often, however, do not hear about the black mathematicians and computer scientists who were behind the scene. Now, when you think of AI today in its full terms, they call this man right here, John McCarthy, the father of AI. But before AI was called AI, black mathematicians, engineers, and scientists were working on problems that would later become foundational to what we now call artificial intelligence. The computations, the algorithms, the pattern recognitions, and the signal processing. So these are smart men, and one such man is named Roy Clay. Now, Roy Clay is known as the father of Silicon Valley because he was at the base, at the foundation of when all of these computations and robots and all of that began to get built. So I wanted to introduce you to him. I say all the time, so many of our powerful, smart, innovative Black people are hidden in history. And it's my honor to bring them out. So welcome, everybody. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate you, supporting the channel. And AI is really taking a toll on all of us. But I'm sure he didn't think that when he first started. It's so funny. Look at this man. He is sitting in here with a something in his hand smoking while in a meeting in an office. So things have really changed over the years. So Roy was born on August the 22nd, 1929 in Kinloch, Missouri. And he was the oldest which was the oldest African American community incorporated in the state. It was a little small town right outside of St. Louis. Of course, he had limited opportunities, but his mother and father recognized how smart he was from just a small child. Now, his dad's name was Charles, and his mother's name was Emma Jean. Now, his father was a laborer, and his mother was a stay at home mom. Now, Roy discovered something very early in his life. He absolutely loved math and solving problems. So, even as a young boy, he dreamed big. He wanted to become a scientist, which in the 1920s and 30s was not as commonplace for Black men. Now, after excelling in school, he won a scholarship. So that lets you know really how smart he was to St. Louis University, where he studied mathematics. He graduated in 1951, and he was actually one of the first African Americans to graduate from that university. Now, at the time, computers they were really they were small. You can y'all look at do y'all remember these ancient computers? So it was an emerging field, and Clay's mathematical background positioned him perfectly to enter this brand new field. So if you can imagine, we can't imagine not having computers today, but this was in the early 1950s. Now, after college, Roy began working in programming and he quickly gained a reputation for his skills. His big break came when he joined Control Data Corporation, where he helped design software for some of the earliest computers. Now, in the 1960s, I want to back up. In 1957, he married Virginia Connors, and they had three sons. So in the 1960s, he started working for Hewlett Packard. They hired him to develop software for their very early computers. And he was one of the company's first persons to work on these mini computers. Now, this machine became critical for scientific and industrial applications, marking a turning point in making computing accessible. So here he is, a Black man, Black family, so proud of him. And I'm just so glad that I'm able to bring this lesson to you. Had you heard of him there in San Francisco? Do y'all have anything that is erected in these schools to his name? I couldn't find any, so that's why I'm asking. I think it's very, very important and special to know that as we look at AI, that Black men like this were at the foundation of building it. Now, he helped pioneer computer language development, making machines more user friendly. So that's why we can go on apps and use them today. He played a major role in establishing HP's computer division, not just a computer, but the whole entire division. And we know that it's in history now. It is the foundation of HP's dominance in the tech industry. I'm a big HP lover. People have moved to different ones like the Mac computer, different things nowadays, but I still use this trusty HP. Okay, HP, I need to see some love. Now, he later founded Rod L Electronics. Now, this was a company that created electrical safety testing equipment used worldwide. So, if you see a UL safety mark on an appliance, Mr. Roy Clay is the one who invented it. Again, so many of the everyday things we use. And you all click down below because I have so many outstanding Black inventors, again, who have been hidden in history, but who were major players in our the things that we use daily. And so I am just so proud to bring this message to you today, this lesson to you today. Now, and beyond the technology, Clay had a mission to bring other African Americans into the field of technology. So he even opened doors for others, and I see nowadays so many times, um, we as African Americans, we don't open the doors as a lot of times like we should for others. Yet back in the day when opportunities were even limited for them, these, our forefathers opened doors for others. So I hope that you are a door opener for people who deserve the opportunity and chance, because of him opening doors for other Black people in the industry. There's a man named Clarence Skip Ellis. He was the first African American to earn a PhD in computer science in 1969. And so, what he developed is the shared environment and remote collaborations that we see today. So, Zoom. If you use Zoom, if you use Microsoft Teams, Clarence Skip Ellis is responsible for this. What about Gladys West, who was able to help create the technology that goes into the GPS system? So, Black mathematicians, smart, innovative, and accomplished Black people were at the forefront and at the foundation of technology as we know it today. Now, you know what? I feel like Roy's story is really, a reminder to us about who we are, where we came from, and he left a definitive mark in Silicon Valley. And not only there, across the world, because we use these products right today, the technology today because of him. Now, in 2003, he was inducted into the Silicon Valley Engineer Council's Hall of Fame. So kudos to you all for doing that. Now, Roy Clay Sr. was more than just a programmer. He was a pioneer, an inventor, and a champion for other Black engineers. Now, he passed at 95 years old at this time last year on September the 22nd, 2024. Now, at the end of his life, he was a politician. He used his money. He founded a golf tournament. So he always gave back to his community as well. So kudos to you, Roy Clay. I definitely wanted to bring his life to our attention because too many times we do not know about these people. So I thank you all for joining me for another great episode of Royal Black and Elite. I found his information in the Good Men Project, and I also looked at Wikipedia as well as some other resources. So I kind of found him a little bit of everywhere. But I thank you all for joining me for another great episode of Royal Black and Elite. Don't forget, you all, like, share, and subscribe so we can push this video through the algorithm. And don't forget to go down below and continue to learn.